Are you serious? Oh, I'm not in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Testing. Testing. No? Testing, testing, testing. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry about that. I got to prop this with a coffee cup. Oh, man. PBT. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Make sure. That was really weird. I had no sound for a minute. Oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's awful. Testing 1, 2. Loud and clear. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I'm going to try to prop that and hope it don't fall. Guys, welcome. This is the Coming Apocalypse. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. Guys, I want to apologize for yesterday, but wow, you talk about a PBT day. First of all, I preached a message, which the church at the Freedom Fellowship people are saying was one of the best sermons they've ever heard. Certainly, what they said, it was one of the best sermons I ever preached there. They said it was the best on the third day, and it was a very powerful move of God, a very powerful message, but it never broadcasted. Something happened, and it never broadcasted. It never even recorded it. We have no recording, no picture of it, no nothing. The only thing we have is about 2 minutes, two different little shorts that Heidi did sitting on the front row. And it's sad because it was one of the better sermons that God had ever given me. But that's how the devil works. He stole the message just like he stole the Ark of the Covenant. I'm here in North Carolina at my son's home drinking water out of a mason jar. And that it don't get no better than that, I can tell you that. Anyway, let me put a shout out right now for noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Guys, seriously, the United States dollar's lost 85% of its value since the 1970s, since we went off the gold standard and decoupled away from gold. Noble Gold Investment, though, says if you need to protect your IRA or your 401k or your retirement funds, you should really consider transferring into gold or silver IRA. You really should, okay? At noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Pick up the phone and call them at 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And tell them Pastor Paul Begley sent you. Gold is actually a biblical currency, so it's very, very, it has stood the test of time, it really has. All right, so guys, we had a terrible situation yesterday morning where my sermon was not recorded at all, was not broadcast live, and could not be recorded, so I can't even use it for television shows later. It's really sad. But then we're traveling right after church. Heidi and I went to Orlando, got on a plane, and was expecting to arrive here by late evening before I would have been here in time to do the show. Sunday Night Live, but oh no, and I looked and even looked, there was a clear day, there wasn't a cloud in the sky, there was no problems, it should be easy, right? Wrong. Are you serious? It was a PBT day, Paul Begley Technology. Even the airlines had it. So we get to Orlando, we get on our plane, our plane pulls out onto the runway, waiting to get on the runway, and we are stuck for 1 hour, and it was 104 degrees, and so it was very tough for them to keep the plane cool enough before we left. And we sat there an hour. So I'm thinking, all right, here we go. Now we're going to miss our connection in Atlanta. But the pilot kicked it into gear. We got to Atlanta, and Heidi and I had 11 minutes to get off the plane and to go 2 terminals down because they were going to start loading, okay? And, of course, my foot's been bothering me pretty bad with plantar fasciitis on my left foot, so I was kind of hobbling and hurting. But anyway, we hustled as hard as we could. We got there. We were 3 minutes late for the boarding, but guess what? They weren't boarding. They were about 10 minutes behind, so we were fine. We got on the plane. We're ready to go. Everybody's finally loaded. It's a packed plane, and another pilot gets on, or the pilot gets up and walks out there and says, "I'm sorry, guys, but they've just told me this plane is inoperable. Everybody get your stuff and get off the plane. We got to get you a new plane. Here we go." So we do that. We get there. We sit around about 20 minutes, and they said, "Hey, you guys are going 2 terminals down. Here's your new door." So everybody has to walk all the way, okay? You get there, you sit down. He barely sat down, and the guy says, "Sorry, they made a mistake. This is the wrong door. We're sending you back to the same terminal you were in. It's just the door across the hall, just across the hall." And people have to walk all the way again. We get there, we set another hour. We finally get in the plane, and then we have to set another hour in the plane. I got in at about 20 after 1 this morning, so my apologies. I could have drove here. It was a 9-hour drive. I could have drove here. Of course, I couldn't because I just can't drive that far anymore these days, especially at night. But it's crazy. I don't know what's going on, guys, the airlines. And you can't blame it on storms. You can't blame it. Just what is going on, especially in Atlanta. And it's getting bad in Orlando. It's just, what's going on? Incompetency? I don't know. But something is not right. Well, anyway, they're just making travel miserable for people. And so anyway, we're here, and we're visiting our grandkids. They are growing up. My Lord, these little girls are just growing up so fast. It's unbelievable. But we'll be with you all week long here broadcasting. So, and Bart Begley did a good job pulling that together last night to at least have some kind of a worship. Let's tell you what's going on. The breaking news I want to get to is this. We've just had, in the last 25 minutes, a powerful 5.5. Now, they originally said it was stronger than that, but the U.S. Geological Survey says it's a 5.5 earthquake has just struck India. But you say 5.5, Begley, don't worry about it. No, it was real close to the surface of the earth, and it's in a city of 1.5 million people. And you got to understand something, guys. Their infrastructure, their building codes, compared to what we do, or like Japan or somewhere, no. It's not going. This could be catastrophe. We're just waiting to find out. It's just happened. The quake was very shallow. It happened just about 10 miles northwest of the city of Carmingue, which might be the only thing that saves a lot of lives, as it wasn't right in the heart of the city, but just north by only 10 miles. But it was felt. It was so shallow. Question is, we're getting reports that there is damage, but I don't know what that means. It's way too early to know if we have casualties or if we have injuries of some sort. We don't know. But it was a powerful earthquake, has hit northeast India near the border of Bangladesh in a city of about 1.5 million people there in India. And so we're praying for the folks there because we just don't know. We just don't know how much damage or if it did. But reports are U.S. Geological Survey is saying this was a very powerful quake and damage is expected and casualties possible. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens on this because it was a pretty strong quake, okay? Very strong quake. It could have been worse, though. If it would have been a little bit more higher and a little more centered toward the city, we would be discussing something catastrophic. So our prayers are going out to the people of India. We're continuing to pray for them as well as everyone else. We're continuing to pray for Hawaii. The death toll now at 96. They're going real slow. They're going house to house, extremely slow, trying to find the bodies and the remains of the people who were just trapped in this inferno. And it's going to take a while. I mean, I think it's going to take quite a while just to try to find the charred remains of these people. So these are loved ones. These are people's loved ones. And this is a very serious, sad situation that's taking place there. There's a lot going on right now in the Middle East. There's a lot of people that are moving and shaking. Netanyahu's trying to figure out a way to put an end to all this the judicial review that he's trying to do. He's trying to look for some compromises, try to settle that situation down. Of course, Saudi Arabia, this whole Iranian deal, this thing is ugly. So there's just a lot going on. Now, there was other earthquakes that happened, but this one I wanted to get to is very significant, and we're praying for the people there. We're truly living in the end times, and I've got more information coming to you. I'll be right back, guys, in just a second. He was saying grace over a Tuesday blue plate special when the man in the next booth said, "Don't you watch TV? Don't you know that God's a myth? I hate to see you waste your breath. There ain't no use in you talking to a ghost that don't exist." The praying man said amen and looked up from his plate and said, "You may not talk to God right now, but there's gonna come a day. If you're a farmer in the field, praying for the rain, or you curse him at the gravesite, 'cause he called a loved one's name, you can thank him, you can blame him. Either way, you're gonna face him, whether you believe in him or not. In the end, everybody talks to God." The man in the booth went quiet, 'cause he didn't have a comeback. So he shrugged it off and he paid his tab. He shuffled out the door, and the praying man, he prayed for the man who drove away, hoping he would see the light before it got too late. But how was he to know he touched an unbeliever's soul, who got that conversation 2 red lights down the road? If you're a farmer in the field, praying for the rain, or you curse him at the gravesite, 'cause he called a loved one's name, you can thank him, you can blame him. Either way, you're gonna face him, whether you believe in him or not. In the end, everybody talks to God. Everybody talks to God. You can thank him, you can blame him. Either way, you're gonna face him, whether you believe in him or not. 'Cause in the end, everybody talks to God. Powerful, powerful. Everybody talks to God. We all talk to God. Oh, it's a powerful song. Everybody talks to God. Aaron Lewis did such a great job recording this song. But I really felt moved to record this song. It's just such a great song. It's one of those songs that is funny because there was a day we was going into the studio to record in Nashville, and I wanted to put, again, 10 songs on this album, but I only had 9. I was still wrestling with the 10th song. I had 3, 4, 5 different songs I was looking at. And that morning I woke up in the hotel before going down to the studio, and I turned on Fox News, and Aaron Lewis was sitting there, and they had invited him to come on because they said, you've just recorded an absolute beautiful song, and we'd like for you to sing it. And so he took his guitar and he acoustically played this song and sang it. And when he did it, the Lord just spoke to me and said, that song, there's your 10th song. So not really knowing it, of course not knowing it, just heard it for the first time. I had to go to the studio and say, guys, this is the song I want. I don't really know it that good yet. I just heard it. And they listened to it, and these musicians were phenomenal, and we recorded it. And it really has a powerful message that everybody talks to God. Well, give your life to Jesus Christ because, guys, I'm promising you, we are living in the last days. I want to thank all of you for being faithful. Thank you for praying for this ministry, that we continue to lead people to Jesus Christ. I was pretty upset yesterday that my sermon that I preached at Freedom Fellowship, technical problems to the point we could not broadcast it or even record it. And then last night, my opportunity to do a Sunday Night Live, which you guys know I always do faithfully, couldn't do it because hung up in Atlanta airports for hours and hours. And so at the end of the day, this morning, I just want to say thank you, guys. Let's lift the tithe and offering. If you didn't get a chance to do that yesterday, please help us. And we'll continue to push forward, winning people to Jesus Christ. That's what it is all about. That's really what it's about. God bless all of you. Yeah, Karen was there. Actually, Karen was at the service live, and she said, I'm glad I was there. Yeah, it was a great time. Thank you so much. Guys, I'll be back with more. There's more breaking news. I'm going to come right back to you. I want to give you a heads up on it. I'll be back in a few minutes. Just kind of hang around the channel. You probably won't get notified because you know how they are here. Jesus is coming soon. God bless.